Can you permanently ruin cast iron? You know, one of the great things about cast iron skillets and cast iron cooking is how durable they are. They can take a licking and keep on ticking, as the old Timex slogan was. But cast iron can, withstand a whole lot in the kitchen. And so that's one of the things that makes them so great, is that they can withstand a lot of, abuse, but they are not completely indestructible. I'm going to give you about 4 different things that you should not do with cast iron, or at least it's not advisable. Number 1 is be careful with extreme changes in temperature. When you take a cast iron skillet from the stove that is hot, you've been cooking in it, and you take the meal out, you take the food out of the cast iron skillet, do not take it over to the sink and immediately run cold water onto a hot cast iron skillet, because you can crack it or warp it. And so that is one thing for sure. You never want to do that. You never want to put cold water in a hot cast iron skillet. And you need to be careful doing it with adding water to a skillet when you are cooking, if you need to add extra moisture or something like, chicken broth or something like that. You may want to try to warm it up a little bit as you put it into the skillet. And, another thing too about extreme temperatures is a lot of people years ago, and I've done it, is putting cast iron directly on fire in a fire pit, or out on a campfire or something like that. A lot of people like to take and burn off their seasoning and old crud and stuff like that in a fire. And the thing about that is, you just got to be extremely careful doing that, because there's no way to regulate the temperature in a fire or a fire pit like that. And so you can easily warp a cast iron skillet in a fire. So be careful about that. That's why it's so much better to season one in an oven where you can regulate the temperature and everything. Now, another thing too that you want to be careful about is seasoning. We talk about seasoning all the time, because if you do not season your cast iron skillet and do a maintenance oiling after you cook and wash and clean it up, if you do not, it has a tendency to want to rust, and rust can damage a cast iron skillet. Can it permanently damage one? Not real easily and not real quick, but yes, it can permanently damage one by pitting. Rust will continue to eat into the cast iron and cause pits or holes or indentations in your cast iron, and you can't get that out very easily. That's something you want to make sure you maintain your seasoning after cooking, washing, and cleaning. But now another thing too that I have done, and I really hate this. This is a bad thing, but another way to permanently damage a cast iron skillet is by dropping it on your shop floor. On the concrete will crack a cast iron skillet and break it or chip it or break the handle off. Can that be fixed? Yeah, you may be able to weld that, but it will never be the same. It's completely ruined. It's completely damaged from that point on. It'll never be like it originally was. And this is an old BSR, and so it just broke my heart when I went out to the shop and seen that had fallen off of my workbench into the floor, onto the concrete, and busted the side of this cast iron skillet. And so you can definitely permanently ruin a cast iron if you're not careful. So folks, let me know if you have ever damaged one by fire, by warping it, by putting it in hot cast iron in cold water and cracking it, or have you ever dropped one on concrete like this and broke either the side of it or broke a handle off? So anyway, we appreciate it. Y'all take care. We'll see you again. Bye-bye.